Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're going on a mind-bending cosmic detective journey. We're going to try and solve the ultimate mystery of your very own existence. I want you to just take a deep, soothing breath, get comfortable, and really open your mind, because what we're about to explore bridges ancient wisdom from thousands of years ago with the absolute cutting-edge science of today. It's a journey that might fundamentally change how you see yourself and really everything around you. Okay, let's dive right into this mystery by starting inside your own head. Look around for a second. Listen to the sound of my voice. How do you know the world you're seeing is truly there? How do you know I'm actually here? Think about it. Your entire life, your friends, your school, the sky above you, the ground below you, it's all experienced entirely inside your mind. So it begs a rather wild question. How can you be absolutely sure that anything outside of your own mind is actually real? Well, this brings us to a fascinating, if kind of lonely, concept called solipsism. It's the philosophical idea that the only thing you can be 100% certain of is your own consciousness. Under this theory, everything else, the stars, the trees, your family, your pets, it all might just be a massive, incredibly detailed illusion projected by your own mind. You might literally be the only real thing in a totally empty universe. But is that true? Are you really all alone out there? Section 1. The brain's guessing game. To figure out if this lonely idea holds any weight, let's look at your brain. Imagine your brain for a second. It is locked inside the thick, completely pitch black, silent vault of your skull. Your brain has no windows, it doesn't have a camera, it never actually touches the outside world directly. It just sits in total darkness. All it receives are these messy electrical signals zipping up from your eyes, your ears, and your skin. And from those noisy electrical sparks, it has to somehow build the beautiful, colorful 3D world you're experiencing right now. According to leading cognitive neuroscientists like Dr. Anil Seth, the brain essentially plays a massive guessing game. First, it receives that noisy data in the dark. Then, it uses past experiences to make a best guess about what caused those signals. And finally, it generates your reality. Dr. Seth actually calls this a controlled hallucination. You aren't passively watching the world like a movie, your brain is actively generating the world you see, constantly correcting it based on new clues. And Dr. Seth points out a pretty wild truth. Out there in the universe, colors don't objectively exist. There is literally only colorless electromagnetic radiation. The vibrant blues, reds, and greens you see are just incredibly useful video game graphics that your brain renders to help you survive and navigate. So cognitive science is basically telling us you are generating your reality from the inside out. Section 2. The universe needs you. So your brain constructs your personal reality. But what happens when we zoom way, way out past your skull to the very edges of the physical universe? Enter John Archibald Wheeler, one of the most legendary theoretical physicists of the 20th century. He proposed a mind-bending idea called the participatory universe. Based on complex quantum experiments, Wheeler concluded that the universe isn't just sitting out there completely pre-made, waiting for us to look at it. He famously said that no physical event is fully real until it is an observed event. In other words, the cosmos doesn't fully lock into existence until you actually look at it. No way, right? Wheeler proposed an idea called it from bit, suggesting that reality is ultimately made of information, kind of like computer code. He compared the universe to a giant game of 20 questions. When you make an observation, when you ask the universe a question, you literally force it to give a yes or no answer. By simply existing, exploring, and observing, you act as a cosmic observer who participates in bringing the universe into reality. Without you, the universe is just a fuzzy cloud of possibilities. Section 3. Ancient Secrets of Consciousness. So, science tells us we generate our perception, and physics tells us we participate in creating reality. But here's the thing. This actually isn't new information. Over 2,500 years ago, brilliant sages in ancient India meditated deeply on the exact same nature of reality. Long before we had neurobiology or quantum physics, they recorded their findings in these magnificent poetic texts called the Upanishads. Through deep inner inquiry, they mapped the universe from the inside out, establishing a breathtaking philosophy known as Advaita Vedanta. The word Advaita literally translates to not two, or non-duality. Remember how we started this explainer talking about solipsism, that isolating idea that you're a lonely mind in an empty universe? Well, Advaita Vedanta flips this completely upside down. It agrees that consciousness is the only true reality, but that doesn't mean you're isolated. Instead, it offers the beautiful, soothing truth that you are not a stranger in this universe. You are the exact same fabric as a cosmos. You are the universe itself, experiencing itself from a very specific point of view. The Upanishads explain this using two key words. First, Brahman. This is the infinite, boundless, eternal energy and reality of the entire universe. Second, Atman, which is the pure, silent awareness looking out through your eyes right now. The greatest secret of Advaita Vedanta is that Atman and Brahman are not two different things. They are absolutely identical. That little spark of awareness inside you, it's the exact same energy that powers the stars. Section 4. The Illusion of Separation. Now, I know what you might be thinking. If we're all one connected web of consciousness, why don't you feel like a galaxy? Why do you feel like a separate person dealing with homework, awkward social moments, and everyday stress? Well, the ancient philosophers had a perfect answer for this. They called this feeling of separation Maya, which means illusion. And this illusion is caused by avidya, which simply means our own innocent ignorance. We mistakenly identify ourselves only with our bodies, our passing thoughts, and our daily worries, and we completely forget our true boundless nature. They used a wonderful analogy to explain this. Imagine walking outside at dusk. The light is dim, and suddenly you see a snake on the path. Your heart pounds, you break into a sweat, you jump back. The fear is incredibly real. But as you shine a flashlight on it, you realize it's just a piece of rope. The danger was entirely made up in your mind. The illusion of separation from the universe is exactly like that rope. We suffer because we mistake who we truly are. The Upanishads feature this gorgeous story to help us understand it. Imagine two birds sitting on a tree. The tree is the physical world you live in. One bird is constantly hopping around, stressing out, eating the sweet and bitter fruits of the tree. This represents your daily ego, the part of you that worries about grades, what your friends think, or the future. But the second bird, sitting higher up, doesn't eat at all. It is perfectly calm, silent, and at peace, just watching the beautiful show. That second bird is your true self, your Atman. Section 5. Who are you really? Okay, let's tie all our incredible cosmic clues together to finally reveal who you actually are. We've traveled from the neurons in your brain to the edge of quantum physics, all the way back to the sages of ancient India. And notice how perfectly these three distinct fields align. Cognitive science tells us reality is a controlled hallucination actively generated by the brain. Quantum physics says we live in a participatory universe where the observer brings reality into being. And Advaita Vedanta teaches that the illusion of separation hides the fact that your core awareness is the universe itself. Modern science and ancient philosophy completely agree on this. You are not a tiny, helpless speck in a massive, cold world. You are an active, vital creator of it. Over 2,500 years ago, in the Chandogya Upanishad, a wise father was teaching his 10-year-old son the ultimate secret of existence. After showing his son how salt dissolves invisibly into water, pervading everything, the father looked at him and said 3 words, Tat Tvam Asi. In English, this means, you are that. The father was telling him that the invisible, powerful essence that makes up the entire universe, you are that. As we end this explainer, I want you to take another deep, soothing breath. Think about what this really means for your life. You are not a lonely mind in an empty void. You are the universe, waking up and experiencing the joy, the challenge, and the absolute wonder of life through your specific eyes. So ask yourself, if separation is just an illusion, if you, your family, your friends, and even total strangers are all sparks of the exact same cosmic consciousness, how will that change the way you treat yourself? And how will you treat others tomorrow? Keep that profound thought with you. Thank you for exploring the great mystery of reality with me.